So, off the bat, congratulations again.
Thank you.
It's not something that I see often. It sounds weird to say, but getting an awards year one
Yeah.
is extraordinary.
Yeah, I did not. I didn't realize that. Like I was in that area of accomplishments for my year one. I really I thought that I exceeded expectations on the traditional year one broker expectation.
You were on the right path.
Yes, I
somewhat.
was like, okay, like based on statistics of how year one brokers go, I was like, you're right there. Like you're right there, and there's definitely room for improvement. There's room for growth. And then when Mike gave me the call saying, would you like for your award to be picked up and whatever, and I was like, what award, Mike? And he's like, well, you're coming to the gala. And I was like, yeah, well, just because it's a Royal LePage gala. And he goes, yes, but the people who were invited are getting awards. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize.
So when you started, did you set yourself a goal? Was it a precise goal, or was it just, oh, I hope that I make it?
I didn't put myself a financial goal for year one. I would say that my expectation was to figure out how I'm going to acquire clients, make the best of those situations by giving the best service possible, to let it be known that I'm not just a typical real estate agent. I'm one that's willing to go above and beyond for my clients in every part of the process. Because I ideally want to be a part of the conversations that happen when I'm not around. I want people to talk about me to other people, not just because they feel like they need to share that with me, but they want to share that with others.
Okay, so wait, so because you are so focused on the service,
yes,
is you're thinking that then there will be that
well, I mean,
cause and effect.
I do believe there's still value in word of mouth, that having a transaction done and people just naturally being curious in terms of real estate transactions, like when you sell someone's house, when that person sells their house, they're like, oh, so who'd you deal with and everything, and then they mention me.
But don't you think that that's pretty much what everybody, getting into the business is thinking? Like, I'm going to give such great value, such great service that I will, by default,
I think a lot of people naturally believe that in themselves, that that's what they're doing. But I don't think they are. I've seen enough real estate agents already to this point where I'm like, holy shit, you're lazy to not even just simply mention this factor to your clients. How could this have blown past you?
So this is not why you got into real estate. Is it because you had an experience before, or was it just you by being a broker, you're seeing or having to interact or collaborate with brokers that are giving you that?
The most interaction I've had with brokers before becoming a real estate agent was I was in property management, and that had a lot of leasing involved. So by
default.
Yeah, so by default, I'm representing the owners that had apartment buildings listed for rent, and essentially, I would then occasionally, when these were posted on various platforms for rent, I would occasionally deal with real estate agents. Okay. And when they'd come, I'd see how they just fall back, allow their clients to look at the apartment. The clients are all asking me the questions. Clearly, they're not informed about the property at all because the listing had the full description of what was included and not included. And I was just simply like, these are such basic things to go over with your clients before you even go visit the apartment.
So you must have not just focused, though, on completely just servicing to get the business. Like, what else, or what do you recall, or what would you say you were doing?
So
that was the primary trigger for you to get these buyers or sellers or these opportunities. Like, so what was the concrete?
Yeah.
Because the point of this thing too is to share with broker viewers. Well, what are the things that brokers are doing? It's well that I give my opinion, but I want it to come from brokers like yourself.
Yeah.
What did you tangibly do?
Engagement.
So explain that, please.
Engagement. So what I quickly realized was, now fortunate enough, I had what some would call a decent amount of overall following on social media before I even became a real estate agent.
Give me numbers roughly there.
Close to 700 in total.
divided amongst all platforms?
Divided amongst all platforms.
Okay, so 700-ish?
Yeah, 700-ish. Yeah. Followers through acquaintances, school, jobs, community engagement. That developed my overall people around me who will constantly see what I'm up to date with.
Okay, but so where does that mindset come from? I don't want to break away from where you were going with this.
Yeah.
But, so engagement, but how did you, before even thinking about being a broker, how did you get to 700?
Yeah.
It was just because you were...
I would definitely class myself as an outgoing individual.
Okay.
I do not shy away from attending events, being involved in my community, participating in activities, you name it.
So already your personality was like that?
Yes, exactly.
So how did you go about doing that then?
So now I know that from what I've been told, you're gonna have your family and friends that are most likely going to contact you whenever a real estate deal gets done. But I don't classify 700 people that follow me on Instagram as family and friends. You can narrow that down to maybe like 5%, you know? There's a whole 95% of them.
And they might not like you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good possibility as well, you know? But engagement is what I realized was the key for me in terms of there's 700 people that I mutually follow that also follow me. Be involved in their accomplishments. Be involved in their projects. Not just you wanting them to like what you're doing, like what they're doing.
But where did you get that from? Because it's not, you know, most people are thinking, I'm going to say I'm a broker. Do you know anybody that's looking to buy? They're going for the what's in it for me. You know,
yes.
That's kind of, I would say, the natural way that people think.
So
where does that come from?
I remember my oh my god moment in terms of engaging came from myself starting marketing through TikTok, posting videos on a continuous basis, posting those same videos on Instagram.
Well, what are those videos though? Just to give it again, I want it to be tangible for whoever's looking and thinking. Yeah, I want to do the same.
So I did
as a realtor now. You're talking, or before?
As a realtor now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as a realtor now. I was doing a wider range of videos, anything from apartment tours in terms of what this could get you for this much in downtown Montreal. Doing story time videos in terms of my personal experiences in real estate. My listings, doing a tour of it, like you name it, like that's the kind of videos. I was not having a specific niche, I was just making content.
So you're in front of the camera talking to the camera. You're talking to the audience.
Yes.
You're giving the tour, but you're in there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not pictures of the listing. Okay. It's not a video tour of I'm doing the walkthrough with you. I'm highlighting the features. I want people to see me.
So what's that? You said you had this
so then it just came across one time that an individual who, again, I knew from a friend of a friend that we had met one time, and simply we follow each other mutually on social media. Would I go out of my way to wish this individual a happy birthday? Probably not back in the day. This guy simply reaches out to tell me, I love what you're doing.
Okay, out of the blue,
this is not like he commented on a video, decided to message me privately to tell me that, and that made me feel good. I know this might not be a real estate transaction right now, but in that moment, I continued to say, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And then I was like, don't just end the conversation there. Ask him how he's doing. Find out what he's been up to and reciprocate that wishfulness that he brought up upon me.
So no selling.
No selling.
No asking if he knows of anybody, or if you have a question about real estate and all that stuff.
Yeah.
None of that.
Just a real good connection to another. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Wow.
And then from there, it was simply like I look at people's stories on Instagram when someone has a graduation, engagement announcement, new promotion at work. I make sure to now connect.
Yeah.
Wish them congratulations. Tell them what a great, and that's all it has to be.
You're talking about TikTok. So you're on what platform are you on?
LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I need to be more active on Twitter or X, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And people have encouraged me and telling me that there's no harm in also posting these same videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
so,
I was just gonna say. I mean, if you're doing TikTok, YouTube
Yeah.
Shorts,
yeah, exactly.
and even longer format, if you
it's
want.
just it's just another platform to create in order to then just post it there. It's not like I'm doing anything different.
No.
Same content, just post it on
And
different
remember
platforms.
who owns YouTube.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
doesn't know, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't use that tool to do any type of search? So if you're there,
Yeah.
then great. So what are you doing differently, if anything, today to get more business than you were when you first started? Because we talked about, I was asking you, well, what was it that you think made you achieve the level of success you had in your year one? And now we're at year two. Are you changing anything? Are you?
Well, so for example, in year one, I remember that my first, like from the moment I got my license till my first transaction was 6 months. And it was 6 months of coming to the meetings and always listening to the message that yourself and Gabriel and Mike were displaying, but never thinking to myself that it would work for me. You guys, exactly, I know, so I'll tell you. So you guys were telling me content, put yourself out there, go for it. You know, anything that you do on your day is worthy of content, even if it's not real estate related. And I always had this mental block that I'm promoting myself as a real estate agent, but I have nothing to show for it right now. I was like, do people actually care that I'm going to get coffee? Or am I showing that the fact that I'm 6 months into my career and I have nothing? Like, are people going to be like, wow, he got a coffee, he must be doing great? You know?
Well, you know, Jay watches all kinds of videos, especially on TikTok, about people ordering coffee on Starbucks, and he's a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Right, Jay?
So that's the thing, and I realized that like I felt like it's not me. I'm forcing myself to be this individual that I'm not. But social media isn't about being someone you're not.
No.
It's really just letting people know what you're up to.
So what are you doing different than today?
So I fully embraced it. I got over that mental block of being like, it does not matter what you haven't done to this point in your career. Everybody starts somewhere. Like you're not going to be the 6-figure real estate agent in 6 months in.
No.
Like I mean, if you are,
well, you could.
Congratulations, write a book, sell it, because I'm sure you have great advice to give. But for the most part, like you said, investing in yourself is because you're investing in your business. You are your business. You have to take the time to invest in yourself.
So you're going in. You're doing more. Would you say that you have an average that you set yourself of pieces of content per day or per week or per?
So on average, I was aiming for at least once a day, like once a day. Those numbers have gone down a bit, just because I am in this like creative phase right now where I'm trying to come up with new content.
But I think that's dangerous. Now, I might be completely wrong here, but I think that's dangerous when you try to, when you stop the actual creating for trying to come up with new or more creative things.
Yes.
I think that's a dangerous slope.
Okay.
Dangerous path. I think you can become that as you maintain.
Yeah.
You can try to rethink, improve the quality. Think of other facets of who you are.
Yes.
That you're okay to showcase.
Yeah.
But just my opinion.
No, that's
I'm throwing it out.
No, but that's the thing. I'm all like, you have to be welcome to getting advice from other individuals.
And
you know, like
there's no one way, right?
No, exactly. Like the thing is what I've done to this point has helped me. But it doesn't mean that I've plateaued in my career either.
And don't get me wrong, what I'm saying to you, I'm saying to myself too. Okay, so you're focusing on social media primarily to generate the opportunities that you have.
Yeah.
And to keep the growth. Is there anything traditional that you do? What I mean by that is...
so I have done the door knocking and I've done the postcards as well.
And so how do you feel about that?
I feel like I've made decent amount of like the door knocking thing was not
the thing.
Yeah, it was not well received. I thought I was going to encounter a lot of door slams in my face.
Yeah.
But luckily a lot of individuals were open to actually letting me speak for a few minutes. And I think that even just that is now they know. I'm the guy in the neighborhood, you know? I've done some transactions. I have a decent amount of portfolio that I can be trusted to complete this transaction for them. Asked questions about them, asked them how long they've been living there.
What do you follow up with? Because obviously that's just the first step one so then they can put a face to a name. But
yes.
35 seconds later, they're forgotten who you are.
Yes.
So what do you do next then?
Well, I ask, would they like to be a part of like a newsletter that I intend on sending out?
Okay.
And if they want to sign up, they want to sign up.
So how's that been working out then?
Well, that's the thing. It's just so far just sending out emails, letting them know of upcoming transaction trends. Where does that fall for if you're a buyer or a seller? Also giving them updates on the mortgage interest rate market. And again, how does that play a factor if you're a seller or you're a buyer? Now, has it gotten me anything in return? No, but I also haven't lost from this process either.
No, you learn.
Exactly.
But would you say that if you put that, so the original question was, what traditional things are you doing to help your business grow? So you talked about door-to-door. What's the other thing?
Postcards.
Postcards. Ooh,
Postcards.
Classic.
Yeah,
those
postcards.
cards.
Yeah, little cheap investment, and I think you kind of like when you do the math, you kind of just hope you land on one, and then.
But did you?
No.
Did it result in anything?
No.
You know, and if you take that same cost, what do you remember what it was?
I believe it was $480.
$480. I know the cost roughly. The last time I checked was about 50 cents a card, with including the delivery. Mm-hmm. So that's how many cards can you do? I don't have my phone on me.
I remember. I think I got 1,000 postcards.
Okay, so 1,000 cards delivered for $500. Let's round it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing came back, so you say, or maybe in the future. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that same 1,000. What'd you say? $500.
Yeah.
How much can you get on social media if you put that into Ads Manager?
Quite a lot. You can boost those posts quite a bit as well.
Even so, the impression is the same thing. An impression is 0.004 cents per impression. So same as per card. So 50 cents on the traditional. 0.00. How many cards can you get more? 4,000 cards more. 4,000 more eyeballs looking at what you're doing.
Whatever I'm posting. Yeah.
And you can then track and know who looked at it, so you can retarget them with some more content.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah. So I think it's good to experiment.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that you make your own.
I've been an individual where, and you know this from our conversations back in the day. I'm a full believer in social media being my main use for acquiring clients. Like I'm not, like you said, the old-fashioned techniques. I'm not necessarily not a fan, but I don't see them as effective in terms of return on investment. That's the only thing.
Yeah. So you're focusing now on increasing content on social media, all platforms combined. You're experimenting with some of the traditional things.
And high on engagement both ways. Yes. Myself engaging and receiving engagement.
So one big problem that I see when I speak to brokers is the how do I structure my day? Do you have some kind of a way that you plan your days, or you just get up and you kind of go with the flow?
So my day primarily consists of, now I'm not saying this because the fact that I wake up early is not a reason for my success. It's just that there's a portion of my day where it's like my girlfriend hasn't woken up yet. There's not a ruckus around the house. It's just me and myself, have my coffee, open up my laptop, and I just plan it out. And it's just
you plan it on the day?
I plan from the morning sometimes it consists of, if it's a Monday morning, it's what are my expectations for the week. Okay. And then on day by day, it's what I need to specifically do that day, either for transactions that are currently going on, boosting productivity online, for engagements, content, all that.
So if you had to put 3 things as the key things that gave you the results that you have year 1 of being in real estate, what would those, in no particular order, those 3 main things that you would say gave you the results?
So one thing I would say that was a benefit pre-receiving my real estate license was already starting in terms of being involved significantly more in community events, anything, celebrations, activities, sports, you name it, like, and having it be part of my conversation.
So you make a point
organically, not like
what does that mean?
like not in the sense I go up to people and when people say how's it going, I'm not just throwing it right out there. I'm about to become a real estate agent. You know, I say how things are currently in my life, what I'm currently up to, and then I mention I'm very close to receiving my real estate license as well.
I want to go back to the community thing. So you're saying that how do you get involved with the community? You're just proactively going on to the city hall billboard.
So for a few years actually, I coached youth soccer as well. Yeah. That is a great way to be involved. I'm not saying I do know soccer. I didn't just sign up as a youth soccer coach and have no idea what I was doing.
But you mix something that you enjoy with being seen or giving you more visibility in the community.
And again, it comes across I was not a youth soccer coach.
To get the business.
Exactly. No. I was a youth soccer coach because I loved the sport. I loved being involved. I loved help growing the sport. And it also helped me get involved in the community.
And that's important because you know you have to like people. I say this often that if you're gonna want to connect with someone or learn about them, you got to be really interested.
Yes.
And not pretend to be interested.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we can feel that. So this is what you're saying. If I'm gonna go help the community or participate in things in the community, it has to come from a real place.
Yep. And I last summer participated in a great event. That took place at the Royal Montreal Golf Club for the Starlight Foundation. They raised a significant amount of money for that wonderful organization. So many people show up to that. Just again, chatting, get to know new people that you haven't met before. Because yes, you show up with a group of individuals that you do know, but what's the point of going there and just talking to the people you know? No,
you want to network. Exactly. Network means meeting new people.
Exactly.
Developing that network. So great. So that's one.
So I guess we can classify networking pre-starting your career in real estate is big.
Okay, okay.
Because if you're expecting results in year one and you only started your networking year one, you're not going to see results year one.
Potentially.
Exactly. Because it's a process.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time. It's nurturing that relationship.
Developing trust. Nurturing, exactly.
Exactly. So I believe that was a big process. Social media was definitely a part of it as well. And then...
So you would say now, obviously from what you're saying, is that social media is no longer an option. It's not like it was a few years ago where some brokers would say, oh, well, I'm not a social media person.
I don't know how one builds a business without it.
It's not an option.
I genuinely don't know how one builds a business today. Starting. Not like the type of restaurants like Schwartz that has the reputation it does.
But I would argue that even Schwartz, if they weren't, or if they're not, I don't know, but...
Yeah, but there's some institutions in Montreal that just have that reputation, which it's built them for their business.
But can they maintain if they do not?
It depends on competition that keeps coming up, that's for sure. The more that competition arises and the more that those individuals who started those businesses recognize the power that is social media, then it could hurt those other places.
So community involvement, participation, social media, a must.
Yeah.
And the third thing?
The third thing, it really comes down to making sure that you utilize also your friends and family. Like,
so your own sphere, as some call it, or database.
Like that is like really just, don't also assume that friends and family will be there right from the start. Like, get involved as well. Have that conversation with them, let them know. Don't just be like, well, I know that my uncle will one day use me.
Okay, so you're saying go to the people that you already know.
Yeah, go.
Friends, family,
go.
And tell them that you're going to be, or you're a new or in real estate.
Yeah, so luckily
force the conversation.
In a way, because that...
Not in a negative way.
Yeah, exactly. For me, personally, I came from a background of property management, like I said before. I know how to generate a profitable revenue income property and manage said property. And I know there's a lot of individuals who want to invest in real estate, but don't have the time to dedicate towards taking care of it. And
most.
Exactly. And I can be that service for them. On top of helping getting the transaction done, I can be the one to help them manage that property.
So I'm going to leave a little pause.
Yeah.
So we can chop that into it. You can use it as your pitch.
Yeah.
Because he's pitching right now.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So so the three things: community, social, and don't forget your
inner circle.
Your inner circle.
Yeah.
Your friends, your database, your
yeah.
So what's 2024, 2025, or maybe even 2026 looking for you as an objective for yourself? Have you given yourself?
I did give myself an objective.
What does it look like?
After the recent acquiring of my, I guess you can call it the award, I have now set that as the bare minimum expectation, in which I won't even be satisfied with that. And now it's just to keep climbing the ranks. I've now told myself that you will become a well-known real estate agent on the island of Montreal. I want to be, when people say, you've obviously heard of Foti? Yes, of course.
Well, I love it.
Now I have a clear objective. I'm going to be a well-known real estate agent.
And you're saying it,
yes.
And you're not just saying it. You know, some people I talk to, they say it,
yeah.
But I can kind of tell that they're not really convinced
themselves.
You're convinced.
I
see it.
Yes,
great.
I'm convinced because, and it's crazy how just 1 year changes my perspective completely from like how we were talking about, like I would just wanted to be a great real estate agent for the clients I do receive. Now it's, I after year one, I know that I can be a great real estate agent that garners a significant reputation, is well known around the island.
Residential?
So residential at the moment.
Property management?
Yes.
As a service?
Yes.
Restrictions on geographical
at the
territory?
At the moment, greater area of Montreal, I'm willing to go anywhere.
There you go. That's
yeah,
beautiful.
I'm not, there's no point in limiting myself.
Well, thank you
Limiting
very much.
myself means limiting my potential.
I thank you. I can't thank you enough for sharing. I think
Thank
this
you
is
so
great
much,
that you're
Etienne.
doing this. You're going to help out a bunch of brokers that are just starting out. It's
Yes.
good to hear it from the actual person doing it.
I mean, yeah, if you put in the hard work, you say this all the time, putting in the hard work means you're investing in yourself. It means you're investing in your business. It's the only way to make it grow.
And I want to make sure everybody knows, I did not ask you to do, I did not ask you to say things about me or the company or anything like that. This is all from your own experience. And this is not to sell no one on anything. It's to share and to try to help other people.
100%.
Because after last year, this year too, the start was not an easy one.
Yeah.
They need, everybody needs help.
Yes.
And so thank you for sharing. I think that's fantastic.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.